Well, I tell y'all, I got away from the camera a while because needed to check some laundry upstairs that I have in the dryer. Have more in the washer to wash. It's my day off from work today, so that is kind of the reason I'm just trying to catch little things like that up. So I'm gonna, I'm giving that a little more time to dry, come along here and demonstrate one of the next steps to carving this. I've kind of drew lines around here to make the little extra space, but as you will come to see, there's a place where little lines are drawn on the side. That is where you carve along that line. And this is something that Mary and Joseph both have in their patterns that you carve them from. So I'd say the work is going to come along this way. It's going to make its way just fine, and I'd say that we are all taking things for the good and for the better. I say sometimes, you know, the book kind of gives you a measurement, tells you what it should be, but there are places in the book where it only shows you pictures of how things ought to come out without necessarily giving you the exact direction to take. So we come along on this, get it all out fine, and make it come better for the work and all. I say that this little time we're gonna work along these lines. Some things need to come together to make it all work out for the good. I say that people have kind of seen these nativities for years. Been telling my friends online about how I've been doing so much less going out in the evenings just to try to get a chance to get this video series together, get these carvings made. One of them, she replied to me saying, "Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful nativity." And I told her saying, you know, it's the kind of thing where I've been doing it for years, making them for years, and lots of people have said so. So I'd say that little work shall come and make its way to us. I will kind of say that there's little places where we carve along the inside of this as well. Maybe kind of make some lines in the back here. The book does not necessarily mention those lines that should be drawn, but it is probably something that when you see how it is in the book, it kind of gives you the idea that's how it should be. Little unfortunate thing is, as I was unloading and reloading, probably forgot to bring my thumb protector back, but for little steps like we're going to do here, we can kind of maybe take care of that when we need it. So we can just kind of be as cautious as we can be, but it's better that you always wear a glove and a thumb protector when you carve. So I'd say we're going to take this step as it needs to be taken, and I say that a little work here and there can kind of make its way to us, make us be brave and all, make us see a world that happens in our lives and sees us everywhere. And I've come along with this just to say that I'm going to hope sooner or later that I get these nativities out at my shows. I don't know what I'm going to carve next or what's going to be on video next, but I just want for one thing to finish up with this series and probably think about moving on to another. But by this point, I've gotten these lines taken out and all of these. Now time to kind of work along the inside. We're going to shave along here, make that little simple part of the robe there. And I say that a little work can take us a long way, make us go a long way. Oh, I'd be happy to see how this is going to turn out, and oh, the work that it does makes us all see the little wonderful things happen in our lives and see the little good things happen with people. Oh, oh, how the work shall come along, make its way to us, shave the little place in the grain and make it come out even. And I say that the work shall come and the work shall go, but we're making it so that everything comes out right, I say. And it's all just among these things where we get it out, places where it needs to go, places where it needs to be. Decide I'm going to try to shave along this little back area as well. It is made to look like Joseph and Mary are kneeling, so that's how we work the things out here. That's how we go about it. Oh, I tell you, in all this work, it shall take us a longer way just to see little things, see the little things, and tell us all that we've just got a little work in us to put us a long way. I say a time or two getting along with this, making our way with this, seeing how the work shall come along, and oh, the little work they do. I say, kind of come to take care of this, and well, I say that sometimes, just sometimes, books aren't always precise in their directions. It's hard to be precise enough when you're knowing what kind of work you need to be doing. So, this is how it comes along, to make them look like they're kneeling and praying at the end. So, we've come along this little step here, and making it so it just sees us in a way that we know the kingdom. Think about how when I was a kid, there was this little tape about wise men and camel boys who were following a star a long way, hoping to find their heavenly king born in a palace, to find him born in a stable. And the cook came on and said, oh, you know, maybe heavenly kings aren't born in palaces. Maybe they're born in stables, so cooks and camels can worship them too. So that's what you kind of learn about as far as people who become the faith walkers indeed. We know that, and I'd like to show what happens here when you get down to the end. I think I might do the same little steps on a Joseph here too, but we'll probably think that when it comes down to it, I might get away from the camera a while just to kind of demonstrate or work on more of the figures, the same steps to them, because there's just a little work that shall come along in what we do and make our figures and nativity people come out so much better. I think about what I heard as a kid about the living nativity, and the kid who had the itch in the beard and stand in the stable with the cardboard cow, but little did he know the living nativity reminded everyone of the real meaning of Christmas. I'd say it's only August right now and we're going on September, but I'd say that we only talk about it because a nativity is what we got on our hands right now. But sometimes work has to come a little early so that we can kind of start selling it and putting it on the market in time. And I always enjoy going out to these churches and taking part in their little craft events, because it's just one of those things where the vendor fees go to help the church out. They provide money for the church and for God and for God's people. So steps we take in life, we learn a lot from them, and this one shall take us a little more time than we hoped to spend. But in life, you know, there was a meme where somebody wrote, "Good things happen to those who wait," but another person commented on it saying that good things actually happen to those who work very hard for it. So, you know, anything can work either way. We can work a little bit, do a little bit, make a little bit, and see how it all turns out in the end. But I really like doing this kind of work. I've always just kind of done it just to kind of try to keep business the best I could, keep it in my hands, keep it in my company, because, you know, this kind of stuff, it sells so good. It's the kind of thing people want to buy, and I've been given some recommendations at times, and I appreciate getting recommendations for things, because that's how it goes. Now you can probably see I've carved out the back of Joseph as well. Maybe since we're currently still on the video, we'll go down to doing this part as well on Mary, carving out the inside that goes underneath the sash, because this little work has a lot to say to us, a lot to do with us. Makes us all see little things as far as how the work goes. And I always am grateful for people who come along and like to see things that I make. There's a lot to say while you're working and carving, a lot to do while you're going about it. So, as of right now, we carve along this little step here and see how she's going to come out when it all works out in the end. Makes us all happy and blessed people and things, and see how we all do in life, making ourselves the people we know, kind of reaching out, getting more customers, and getting more business to us, and it's kind of how it works when you go about what you do to show people what a living you can eventually make. I'd like you all to see how it came out down here. Got all this extra work done under the sash. There's a little place here in the front that you carve off as well to kind of flatten her. And the same on this sign goes to Joseph too. I say that we can kind of take the work along. I say, wow, get the little place on here. Sometimes I can talk in circles, sometimes I can talk on and on, but it gets a little instinctive here and there, so there's just a lot of caution we take in our lives and a lot of caution we take in our world. So we know of all things that people are just happy and blessed people because they appreciate what they have. They make the best of what they have, not because they have everything. We know that we have so much in life to be grateful for, so much we accomplished in our younger years that we don't realize, and there's been a lot of things we've done in our lives that have brightened us, made us happy, made others like us so much. And I'd say, you know, as much as I appreciate the fact that there's people in this world who care so much about me, there comes times in my life when I kind of have to get away from things for a while and go about my business and my work, trying to keep things as much together as I can, and that's how it's going here. I've got shows coming up in a few weeks that I'm looking forward to. And finally, we got this part cut out of Joseph, the little front under the sash and the little place in the front as well. So, as far as I'm concerned, this might be the last video on the carving of Joseph and Mary, but we're probably going to more than likely do a video where we put the finish on them. And more or less, one thing I'll eventually get around to doing for this series is making the little video where I demonstrate how I carved the little manger with baby Jesus in it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.